Welcome back to the gaming's best and worst years series, where today we look at one of the most hit and miss years that I can remember, 2018. Let me tell you, out of all the years we've covered so far, this year is some of the most iconic, but also some of the biggest flops we've ever seen over this last decade. So grab some popcorn as we look at 2018 in gaming. We start as we always do, by listing off some of the best games we had in 2018. It was a strong year for PlayStation, who gave us God of War and Marvel's Spider-Man. This really took PlayStation into a different league when it came to the last generation of consoles, as Xbox simply could not keep up with the exclusives PlayStation had. Nintendo gave fans Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which received critical acclaim from both fans and critics, as this truly was the ultimate Smash Bros. Experience, with the most playable characters in the series. We saw more Loki releases like Celeste do extremely well as well, which was praised for its brilliant and engaging story that was told through 2D platforming. But I've already taken enough time to get to it, so let's just admit it, shall we? 2018 contained what is, in my opinion, the single most gripping story ever told in a game, with RDR2. I mean, there isn't much to say about this game that hasn't already been said. This game took a while, but when they finally released it at the end of October, there was nothing else like it. The gameplay complemented the story, and whilst not perfect, was engaging enough. But the real thing that made this game special was the story. That was the story of Arthur Morgan, and the prequel to the incredible first game that had already left an impact on so many. This game is still replayed by so many to this day, and it's clear to see why. And it's hard to see how any developer, let alone Rockstar Games themselves, can top the level of detail in the world and the pure emotion told for this piece of art. So that shows there was a lot of great games in 2018. But I would be lying to you if I said 2018 was perfect, as in reality, it's far from it. EA and Activision would release their flagship shooter titles, and Battlefield 5 and Black Ops 4 respectively would be distinctly average titles in the series, and at the time would stir up a lot of controversy. Sea of Thieves would prove to be another empty release from Microsoft. A game with huge potential, releasing with no content, and it would take years to recover. Now, where have I heard that before? Far Cry 5 signalled a huge drop in quality for the series, as Ubisoft's obsession with large empty open worlds continued, and it doomed this entry to be an extremely forgettable one. But it's no question what the biggest failure of 2018 is. Step forward Bethesda with Fallout 76. The multiplayer answer to the post-apocalyptic RPG came with so much hype, but then it flopped. And then it flopped some more. And then it did a tiny bit more flopping. Bugs, glitches, and an outdated game engine, multiplayer that didn't work, features promised that weren't there, and people receiving poor quality pre-order items. I could really go on for hours about this game. This game was simply awful, and it showed that AAA devs were losing their touch in putting out a product the fans wanted. It was so bad, in fact, that for all the games Bethesda release in the future, this game will always be a mark on their reputation. Despite the success of all the games I've mentioned in this video so far, 2018 was really the year of Battle Royale. From new releases like Blackout, Firestorm or Realm Royale, to the established titles like PUBG receiving new maps, there was an abundance of Battle Royale showing up everywhere. However, one game stole the show, and that was Fortnite. Perhaps the game with the most widespread popularity ever, and certainly the most since Minecraft, you simply could not escape Fortnite in 2018. The game had released the year prior, but in 2018 it really caught fire, with seasons 3, 4 and 5 all starting in 2018, and are all considered by most to be the peak of the game. Streamers like Ninja, Tfue and Myth would all gain an incredible level of popularity, due to this game adding more fuel to the fire, and it helped launch it into the mainstream media. The emotes that used trends at the time, the new Battle Pass concept that players wanted to grind, and most importantly, the building mechanic left Fortnite to really stand out. Its free-to-play model left paid games like Blackout and PUBG in the dust, as why pay for a genre when you could just have it for free? Put simply, I don't think we've ever seen a game as popular as Fortnite, and I don't think we'll ever see one again. Whilst I personally wasn't the biggest fan of the game, I can't deny its impact. And to me, Fortnite in 2018 was the last time the gaming community as a whole felt unified, as it seemed that everyone had played or was playing this game. Still to this day, in fact, Fortnite is popular, and it's a testament to the perfect blend of features that Epic Games created at the time that it left a lasting impact on so many people. There's a reason why so many people played the recent OG event that came out, as already so many people are nostalgic for the most popular game ever. So that's a look back at 2018 in gaming. A wild year for sure, with so many ups and downs, that also contained the most popular game of all time at its peak. This year has proved to be iconic due to the outright masterpieces we got, and I think it's fair to say that PlayStation is certainly happy with the success that they saw. You might think then that I would rate 2018 extremely highly, but I simply cannot ignore the mainstream AAA flops this year. Call of Duty and Battlefield weren't offensively bad, but they also weren't spectacular. And with Fallout 76, I'll just put it this way, I think to this day, so many of us are still offended. So it's for these reasons why I give 2018 in gaming a 79 out of 100 score. It does have some of the best games of the recent generation, that certainly pushed the limits of the last console generation, but the average to trash games we received from the larger publishers put a huge damper on the score. It's not like 2007, where it felt like every game that came out with huge hype behind it seemed to meet that expectation, but instead a year that would subvert our expectations. It is perhaps the most iconic year in recent gaming history, due to the memories so many people have playing Battle Royale and the iconic releases that came out that year, so I can give it credit for that. But overall, this has been 2018, so leave a like if you enjoyed, as it does help continue the discussion, and leave a comment letting me know what year you want to see next in the series. I've been Ranger, and this has been 2018 in gaming.